Tonight on CTV News at 6. 2 suspicious fires and 1 death.
This is the second instance this year that we've had back-to-back deaths, one after another.
Sudbury police are investigating at a downtown homeless encampment. Plus, looking to the future of mining.
The world is listening. They're listening to Ontario, Northern Ontario, and they're listening to Timmins.
Industry leaders gather in Timmins for what's known as Northern Ontario's largest mining expo. Plus, mosquitoes can be more than just a bother.
The best ways to protect yourself from contracting West Nile virus is to prevent mosquito bites in the first place.
Sudbury Health Unit talks West Nile virus and how you can stay safe.
TV News at 6 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Sudbury police are investigating a fatal fire at the city's homeless encampment in the downtown area. Investigators say the incident is being treated as suspicious. CTV's Amanda Hicks has the details.
Police tape surrounds a large section of Sudbury's Energy Court.
Around 3:40 this morning, emergency responders were dispatched to Energy Court in relation to 2 tent fires. Upon extinguishing the fire, officers and firefighters did locate 1 deceased individual inside one of the tents.
The victim's identity is unknown at this time. Because the cause of the blaze has not yet been confirmed, the incident is being treated as suspicious. Police are investigating in collaboration with the Ontario Fire Marshal.
In 2026, there have been 6 deaths reported in Energy Court.
This has been the second death within a span of just 2 days, following a sudden death reported on Wednesday. The Go Give Project, which operates the Energy Court Hub in conjunction with the City of Greater Sudbury, says the recent stretch has been incredibly hard on the community.
This is the second instance this year that we've had back-to-back deaths, one after another. So that always takes its toll. And again, just the nature of the incidents, we're looking at drug poisonings and violence. And it's a scary time for everybody in our community and the broader community, but especially those that are, just trying to survive in the encampments.
While there are surveillance cameras in the area, Ali says more designated safe spaces and housing alternatives are needed, along with an increase in security.
With the heat, tensions are rising. We're seeing extreme congestion with the encampments in the Energy Court area, and a reduction in that is going to reduce the number of incidences that are taking place.
The cause of death remains an unanswered question, one that officials say will rely heavily on a post-mortem examination scheduled for tomorrow. In the meantime, police are asking anyone with information to come forward. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
An emotional gathering for Ontario Provincial Police and other first responders yesterday. Hundreds lined the route to the province's chief coroner's office, a show of solidarity for a fallen officer as the casket carrying the remains of OPP Constable Taryn Bali arrived from Hearst. The 29-year-old officer was killed in the line of duty on Tuesday.
We're brothers and sisters in arms, for lack of better words. We all serve the public and the community together, so it's very important for the 3 of us to be here to honor our fallen.
Police officers have an opportunity to go up north to places like James Bay and do deployments for a period of time. It's kind of extra work for them, and they help with staffing shortages and things like that up in the north. So he was going in the extra mile in service to the people of Ontario when he was tragically killed.
Constable Bali was attempting to stop a vehicle when he was struck and killed. Police say the accused, 18-year-old Justin Verano from Hearst, had fled from a hospital where he was being assessed under the Mental Health Act. He's been charged with first-degree murder, among other charges, and made his first court appearance while Constable Bali's journey to the coroner's office began. His next appearance is scheduled for June 24th. Meanwhile, a police officer in the Toronto area was fatally shot this morning. We'll have that story coming up later in the show. A Sault Ste. Marie stabbing trial was back in court today, more than 5.5 years since the incident took place. In February, Montana Lewis was found guilty of manslaughter in the stabbing death of Samuel Graham Jr. Today, the court heard victim impact statements from more than 20 family members and friends of the deceased. 19-year-old Graham's parents noted the heartbreak that they have endured while also being re-traumatized by the repeated court visits, which they claim to be over 45 since 2020. The court case will continue tomorrow, where submissions from both Crown and defense will take place, as well as final words from Montana Lewis. A sentencing decision will not be rendered tomorrow. The Anishinaabe Police Service is issuing a warning after one person died and another was hospitalized from suspected overdoses in Garden River First Nation. Police say the two separate incidents involved the victims smoking what they believe to be cannabis from a bong that was being passed around. In the first incident, a person was taken to hospital with overdose symptoms and later died. The second incident sent a youth to hospital with seizures and other symptoms. They're still in hospital. And police say there's no indication that others partaking in the drugs from either incident showed any overdose symptoms. While police are still investigating, they believe the cannabis was purchased legally at the dispensary in the First Nation, but say the substance consumed by these two people may have been cut with something the victims were unaware of. More on this story, you can visit our website at ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. In Timmins, the OPP's Guns and Gangs Unit and Timmins Police Service seized more than $160,000 in drugs along with illegal weapons, cash and trafficking items. The seizure stemmed from an investigation that began in February into drug trafficking network with ties to the Greater Toronto area. In late May, police executed 4 search warrants on homes in Timmins, Kapuskasing, and announced today 5 people will face charges. 2 Toronto men, 2 people from Timmins and 1 from Kapuskasing face a combined 38 trafficking and weapons related charges. Time now for our first check on weather. And if you got a little break from the rain today, don't expect it to last. With more details, we go to CTV's Tony Rima.
Thanks for that, Marina. How true, yes. Not much rain today, but it will continue overnight and into tomorrow. And heck, right until Sunday. Monday, we finally get a break, and that's why we're starting with our forecast radar. More showers and thunderstorms going to be heading our way overnight into tomorrow. Also off and on showers throughout the weekend. And you see this band right here as it tracks through our broadcast region and moves into Quebec. And a weather alert still in place for Hearst, along with Kapuskasing and the far north. Temperatures, well, they're going to start to drop overnight, and that heat warning will be gone this evening. More weather details later in the show. Marina.
Thanks for that, Tony. Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen joined CTV News in studio today, talking about the success of the Artemis 2 mission and the difficult task ahead for Artemis 3 as NASA takes the next step towards a return to the moon's surface.
So Artemis 3, initially we were hoping we would get to the surface of the moon on Artemis 3, but the lunar landers just aren't there yet, and we're going to have a rocket and a capsule and maybe can do some early tests with these lunar landers in Earth orbit to buy down risk to make sure we actually nail the landing on the first try. So it makes perfect sense to all of us, and so this crew that's been announced, they've got a heavy lift, the whole team. They have to try and rendezvous with these lunar landers in Earth orbit, dock with them, and maybe do some spacesuit testing. It's a lot. What advice would I give them? I don't think they need my advice. I know these people really well. They're extremely competent.
The Artemis 3 crew was revealed earlier this week, which includes 3 Americans and 1 Italian astronaut. NASA is targeting late 2027 to launch that mission. Still to come here on CTV News at 6. Affordable housing is in the spotlight as officials talk shortages at a conference in North Bay. Plus, Ontario's best in mine rescue looking to stand out and help save lives in Sudbury.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Over the last 3 days, municipal leaders, social services agencies, and other stakeholders have been in North Bay for the Northern Ontario Service Deliverers Association Conference, known as NOSDA. As CTV's Eric Tashner explains, affordable housing was a key area of concern.
Great comments.
At the annual NASDA conference, the talk of much-needed housing dominates discussions.
It's become very stark, with respect to the inability to actually provide affordable housing here in Northern Ontario. It's so extreme that the situation is probably the worst in the country.
Delegates representing Northern Ontario's 10 service managers, who are responsible for delivering essential social and human services, together plan to draft a housing shortage proposal to the federal level.
I serve on a nonprofit seniors housing board. There's a 7-year wait list. It's subsidized geared to income housing for seniors.
Once we get the green light from them, we're ready to proceed. We have the location, we have the drawings, we have everything to proceed.
Throughout the conference, they spoke about emerging trends and challenges for service delivery in Northern Ontario, with presentations focused on collaboration, innovation, and advocacy.
It's really nice to come to a conference where we can start to share some of the experiences we are having and just seeing what other folks are doing, utilizing some best practices.
Another challenge the social service agencies look to address is childcare. According to statistics, 13,000 families right across Ontario are currently on childcare support wait lists. The challenge is hiring more qualified early childhood educators. In January, the Social Services Board identified a need for 140 childcare staff in the Nipissing district. King has been pushing the province to extend its Learn and Stay grant to include ECE students.
That Learn and Stay process is underway right now. That's certainly a big part of the process that we're carrying on at DSAP.
And when these delegates go back to their communities, they say the advocacy to improve the lives of Northerners will continue. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Top mine rescue teams are in Sudbury for a provincial mine rescue competition. 8 teams from across Ontario are competing in scenarios that help them prepare for real-life, life-saving scenarios. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
20 minutes to return, over.
For this team, it's the end of a grueling extrication exercise, and then it's on to a rope rescue. The complicated scenarios are part of the provincial mine rescue competition.
These teams are invaluable when it comes to our mining organizations. They are the backbone to our industry when it comes to things going wrong. These are the people we trust, and these are the best that we have in the province.
Magna Mining is the host site at its Podolsky mine north of Capreol.
Today there's 3 different scenarios that are going on the property. There is a casualty underground type scenario, there's a rope type scenario, and a firefighting scenario.
Organizers of the competition say members of mine rescue teams spent hours on intense training, so mines have adequate emergency response capability.
Less a thought process and more muscle memory. We see them make invaluably good decisions. We see them excel. We see them take leadership roles, and it's just that time in, time out investment that they put into the program that makes it so strong.
When it comes to emergency preparedness, I think being prepared involves going through different scenarios, understanding how you would attack certain scenarios, whether it's a fire, whether it's ropes, whether it's extrication, understanding different casualty types and injuries.
The winning team last year was Kid Creek from Timmins, who went on to the international competition in Zambia, finishing 3rd place. Alana Everson, CTV News, Capreol.
Meanwhile, the future of mining in northeastern Ontario was on full display today during the Projects in the Pipeline session at the Canadian Mining Expo in Timmins. CTV's Lydia Chubak was there.
Required, but we got through it. Thank you.
Mining executives from Discovery Silver, Agnico Eagle, and IM Gold laid out plans that could shape the region for decades to come. Discovery Silver says its recent acquisition of the Kidd operations will be a major growth driver. The company plans to build new gold processing circuits at the Kidd metallurgical site, shift ore processing from Dome to Kidd, expand exploration, and increase production in the Timmins camp. The company says it sees more than $6 billion in spending over the next 5 years, hundreds of new jobs, and the potential to more than double gold production.
There's some great opportunities here in Timmins.
People should be investing and thinking positively about the growth in Timmins, and the Timmins shouldn't be closing; it should be building.
Agnico Eagle detailed several major projects in its pipeline, including the Detour Underground project, Upper Beaver, and other growth opportunities across northeastern Ontario. IAMGOLD provided an update on its Côté gold mine, which reached commercial production last year and is now studying future expansion options. Ontario's Minister of Northern Economic Development and Growth, George Peary, says events like this help everyone, from investors to suppliers, plan for the future.
People want to hear about what's happening, the growth stories, where they're going to put their money into next.
Peary says the industry's momentum is attracting attention well beyond Northern Ontario.
The world's all about hard assets, and the world is listening. They're listening to Ontario, Northern Ontario, and they're listening to Timmins.
Canadian Mining Expo organizers say this year's event was the largest in the show's history. They say the growing turnout reflects strong confidence in the mining sector.
You could feel it. You could just feel it. The buzz is there. And it's happening. This is our time. This is our time for Timmins. This is our time for Northern Ontario.
Dreadhard estimates attendance was up by about 2,000 people compared to last year, with roughly 8,000 people attending the two-day event, including representatives from 13 countries. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Back over to Tony now for a check on the current weather conditions this Thursday evening. Tony, do we need sunblock, an umbrella, maybe both?
Right now, Marina, I'd say sunblock and then later the umbrella, because it's still hot out there with the humidity. We have the weather alerts map up for you in through Hearst, along with Kapuskasing, the far north out of Wapiskat, Moosonee. Temperatures near 30 degrees, add the humidity 35, 37. Don't worry though, that warning is going to end this evening. Things are going to be much better. So let's take a look at our current temperatures to give you a sense. Outside right now, in through Timmins, 28, add the humidity, probably feels like 32 degrees, maybe 33. Cochrane, same temperature. Moosonee, still warm, cooking there, 30 degrees, 29 for Kapuskasing. As we head to Chapleau, 26, the cool down has already started in through Wawa, 16, 24 for Sault Ste. Marie, so it's starting to come down. Parry Sound, sun and cloud, 22 degrees as we head north. In through North Bay, sun cloud, 24, a little warmer in through Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. For Sudbury at this juncture, come on, 25 degrees, sun cloud mix, same temperature in through Espanola, Elliott Lake, and look at Gore Bay. Full weather details still ahead. Marina.
Thanks for that, Tony. Next on CTV News at 6. A Toronto area police officer fatally shot during an investigation. We'll have those details. Plus, why the opening of the new Gordie Howe International Bridge is on hold. It's the second time this week a police officer in this province has been killed in the line of duty. This time the tragedy taking place in the Toronto area. CTV's Beth McDonnell reports.
43-year-old Constable Mark Pinizzato was a husband, father to 14-year-old twins, and a Toronto police officer for 18 years. Today, while executing a search warrant, the specially trained member of the emergency task force was shot and killed.
Our teams met with Mark's family at the hospital to confirm this devastating news, and they are grieving a profound loss. Words cannot describe the pain they are feeling.
I happen to know the mom very well for 20 plus years. Their grief is shared across this entire city.
The shooting happened around 5:40 in the morning at a residential tower near Black Creek Drive and Trethui Drive. There was an exchange of gunfire. The Special Investigations Unit says Pinizzato entered a fourth-floor unit when a suspect fired the first shot.
A man discharged his firearm at an officer, resulting in the officer being struck. A second officer returned fire, and the man was struck multiple times.
A 19-year-old suspect is in custody, sent to hospital in critical condition. Police say Pinizzato was rushed to Sunnybrook, but despite heroic efforts, did not survive. The tower where Pinizzato was shot is the same building where last summer 8-year-old Javai Roy was hit by a stray bullet and killed. In this case, many woke up to the sound of sirens and saw tactical officers with guns. Police have been guarding the lobby and the unit where shots were fired.
I was terrified. Like, I was so scared because I'm looking out the window. I'm like, oh my gosh, not again.
And then when I went to drop my daughter off at the school bus, I seen all the blood and stuff in the lobby.
From Sunnybrook, Pinizotto's body was carried in a procession to the coroner's office. The grief and sadness of this day overwhelming for his fellow officers. This police salute a show of solidarity. Described as a dream recruit, they have now lost one of their own in the line of duty. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
The opening of the new Gordie Howe International Bridge has officially been delayed. A statement from the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority's interim CEO says Canada and the United States have agreed to delay the opening of the bridge, taking the necessary time to resolve any outstanding issues. Invitations had been sent out for a Friday ribbon cutting on the $6.4 billion bridge between Windsor and Detroit. U.S. President Donald Trump threatened in February to block the bridge's opening. This as U.S. Ambassador to Canada Pete Hoekstra was in Toronto today to talk trade. Despite President Trump's comments around not wanting to renegotiate CUSMA, Hoekstra hinted at ways Canada could make it work. More from CTV's Abigail Beeman.
America has a tremendous amount of things where we have a need.
America's man in Ottawa gives context to these comments from Donald Trump on the Free Trade Pact up for review.
I'm not looking to renew it. We don't need anything that Canada has.
Pete Hoekstra says there are things America needs, potash and oil, for example.
Go into these negotiations very aggressively.
And it's Canada's job to sell itself as the best place to buy.
I think every time we've met with the Canadian government, the president has always kind of closed the meetings off or consistently said through the meetings, make us an offer.
Hoekstra also referenced a positive shift in rhetoric from Doug Ford on his trip to D.C. this week, Pierre Poilievre, and this from the Prime Minister.
Canada Strong will help make America great again.
What I'm encouraged by is, what we do see as a pivot.
As an investor, as someone who's spent most of his career allocating capital, uncertainty sucks.
Canada's rarely heard from ambassador said America first doesn't mean America alone.
I think we need to continually remind Americans of the importance of Canada to the United States. We're not good at that always.
I'm optimistic.
While the minister responsible remains hopeful about a 16-year deal extension.
I try and demystify this July 1st deadline. Right. It's not a cliff that everybody goes hurtling off.
LeBlanc said he spoke with U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick this week and will see Trade Representative Jamieson Greer at the G7 next week. He described conversations as constructive with a need to move forward. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meanwhile, President Trump is saying attacks on Iran will not go ahead tonight. This after he threatened taking over Iran's oil and gas markets on Fox News this morning. Donald Trump posted this on Truth Social saying, quote, based on the fact that discussions with the Islamic Republic of Iran have been brought to the highest level of Iranian leadership and approved, I have, as President of the United States of America, canceled the scheduled strikes and bombings against Iran this evening. He goes on to say the naval blockade will remain in effect until this transaction is finalized, with the time and place of the signing to be announced shortly. But Iran's semi-official news agency says Tehran has not approved any text for an initial memorandum of understanding with the U.S. There's more news ahead. First, though, your full weather forecast with Tony Rima and what could be a wet weekend ahead.
Thanks for that, Marina. How true, yes. Make sure you have an umbrella, maybe rubber boots if you're heading outside. Let's take a look at our forecast radar. Well, we have the calm before yet another storm, another shower or two. Thunderstorms, of course. Tomorrow morning in through Sault Ste. Marie, Wawa area, White River, expect thunderstorms. That's going to move in an easterly direction, heading toward Kapuskasing within a 4-hour time period, mind you. And then as we take a look next, those showers are going to move out of our region. We're going to get some clearing tomorrow evening. And then after that, it's not going to be all that bad. And then Saturday morning, Sault Ste. Marie, St. Joseph Island, expect another round of thunderstorms. It's going to cut through Sudbury just briefly in through Saturday evening. And then after that, not all that bad. So this is what's causing everything. We have a low pressure system. We have a cold front that's also moving through. As a result, there's also a cold front that's going to slide through after that, creating unsettled conditions. And the saving grace in all of this, the temperature is going to drop. Let's take a look at our overnight temperatures. I expect some showers or two, depending upon where you live. In through Sudbury, 17, you see 13. Not all that bad overnight temperatures. North Bay, 18 degrees. It's going to be wet in through Moosonee. Temperatures getting a little better overnight for sleeping. Chance of showers, more rain in through Caphurst, Wawa, Gore Bay, and Parry Sound. Let's take a look at your 7-day weather forecast, where your weekend is always in view. In through Sudbury, Nickel Belt, risk of thunderstorms, 24. Temperature starts to fall a little bit. Come Saturday, we get that clearing. Monday looks good. And then back to the rain briefly on Wednesday, Thursday, mix of sun and cloud. 19 degrees. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, risk of thunderstorms tomorrow, below seasonal by 1 degree. The wet weather continues. We get clearing on Monday. Tuesday, not all that bad. Wednesday, only a 40% chance of rain. Thursday, mix of sun and cloud. Temperatures pretty good. For Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, you have to get through tomorrow. Friday, temperature drops. Then we start to get a break in the action when it comes to precipitation in through Monday, Tuesday, then back Wednesday, Thursday for shower activity. 4, Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, risk of thunderstorms tomorrow. Temperature starts to fall. We get some clearing. Monday looks good at this point. Wednesday, that's the blip, 20 degrees, 19 on Thursday. And finally, your 7-day weather forecast. Let's go to North Bay, West Nipissing. Risk of thunderstorms, temperatures starting to fall just a little bit. We get some clearing on Sunday. Still, though, a chance of some rain. Monday looks pretty good. Temperature ticks up a little bit on Tuesday. Wednesday, some showers. And Thursday, there is a mix of sun and cloud. We don't have a picture of the day, but here's hoping the weather cooperates on Saturday in Sault Ste. Marie for Troy's Trail, the 15th annual walk for hydrocephalus and spina bifida. Registration, 11 a.m. at the Art Gallery of Algoma, and the walk begins at around 11:30. And with this weather, the mosquitoes are out in full force. You probably felt them already. Madison Merrier tells us how to avoid their bite after the break.
Welcome back. About 2 million Canadians have a Nexus card, which makes it faster and easier to cross back and forth into the United States. You have to apply for a Nexus card, but if you do, you need to be careful how and where you get one. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
If you're a frequent traveler to the U.S., a Nexus card can help you bypass long lineups at the airport and crossing the border. Pauline Saunders of Angus decided she wanted to get a Nexus card to save time while traveling. She went online to start the process.
I knew I wanted this pass, and then I saw an advertisement on Google, so I hit it.
A company said it could help her apply for a Nexus card, and she agreed to pay their fee of almost $600 US. But months later, she had still not received a Nexus card, and she was told an additional payment of $120 US was required.
I didn't want to pay another $120 because what else are they going to take from me?
Saunders used the services of a third-party company called Nexus Pass Online, Inc. A spokesperson told CTV News, Nexus Pass Online is a private application assistance service. Our value is saving time, reducing mistakes, so the process is clear and stress-free. This fee covers document review and readiness for submission. It does not include the government's filing fee. The company said it needed Saunders to pay the additional $120 US to finish the application, which she declined.
It's just not okay. I'm so angry and upset about it.
The Canada Border Services Agency says using a third party will not speed up the process and could even cause delays or denials in getting a Nexus card. A spokesperson said you do not need a third party to complete your Nexus application. The fee for a 5-year Nexus membership is $120 US. You can go directly to the Government of Canada's website to apply, renew, or replace a Nexus card. Saunders says she's frustrated after paying more than $800 Canadian that she'll have to start the process all over again. Pat Foran, CTV News.
A new report highlights workforce pressures for paramedics in the city of Greater Sudbury, which are leading to retention issues and burnout. We get the details from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
A paramedic shift can be busy, unpredictable, and stressful.
They're running their butts off and doing multiple calls on a 12-hour shift.
A report headed to the Community and Emergency Services Committee finds roughly half of the city's primary care paramedics have less than 5 years of experience, while 20% have 1 year or less. There's also been a decline in the number of paramedics who have higher skill levels.
ACP, the advanced care paramedics, we're losing a lot of them at the city because other services around are starting to say, hey, we want that level of care. So they say, well, sure, I'll go work in Manitoulin, or I'll go work in Hager or Killarney, or different stations like that are slowly bringing that service level up, as well as Orange.
Along with being a city councillor, Renee Lapierre is also the program coordinator for Collège Boreal's paramedic services and a former paramedic. He knows the pressures of the job firsthand.
Our call volume is higher than what we used to have. You used to be able to have a pause between calls. Now they're back to back to back. You don't have time to always reset. As good as the plans that we have and the services that we offer to support mental health, they can't catch up quick enough.
The report shows significant recruitment and retention pressures, particularly for ACPs. Plus, relying on this smaller cohort has led to operational pressures, higher rates of burnout, and a gradual buildup of physical and mental exhaustion. Dealing with the mental health aspect of the job is hard to teach.
Biggest one we found is to try to do high fidelity simulations as best as we can, to not just integrate the skill piece, but the emotion piece that they're going through as well. So that way they can experience it a little bit ahead of time in a safe environment.
Among other items, the report calls for targeted investments in advanced care paramedic capacity. City Council will decide how to proceed once the report is presented on Monday. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Quebec has become the first jurisdiction in Canada to regulate the sale of energy drinks. That province passed a new bill that prohibits the sale of energy drinks to anyone under the age of 16 and to anyone looking to buy them for children under the age of 16. The vote was a resounding 103-1. An energy drink is defined as having a caffeine concentration of at least 150 milligrams per liter. The new rules for Quebec take effect in 6 months. Now to the ongoing need for the gift of life. This is National Blood Donation Week, with World Blood Donation Day coming up on June 14th. As CTV's Brianne Foley shows us, the need for new donors is in high demand.
Robin Stanley is giving blood today because she knows firsthand how much it's needed.
I try to come, as often as I can. I am a nurse, so, know how important it is for folks to be able to kind of get the blood when they need it. And then my mom actually, a couple of years ago, also had a liver transplant.
Her bi-monthly donations help with planned surgeries, but also emergencies.
They don't have the blood available, then they're not able to kind of go through with that surgery. And then, all the emergencies that we don't expect that happen every day, it's really important that we have those things when we need them.
I think people assume there's a lot of donors out there, but in actuality, only 2% of people donate blood currently. So there's 400,000 Canadians that are supporting 40 million Canadians in the country.
Everyone who donates has a reason to give, but even with those regulars coming in, there is still a need for new donors daily.
because it's like they say, it's in you to give. I've been giving blood since I was 18. I started when I was 18, right out of high school.
Over the next 5 years, we need 1 million new donors coming through our door. Specifically in our area, right now there's only 4 days on hand of O positive, and it's the most common blood type in Canada.
The process is simple and gives back in multiple ways.
Every 60 seconds in Canada, somebody needs blood, and the only way that they get it is from a donation of somebody else in Canada.
I just see the need for it, and it's if I can help save a life or two, and it's in me to give.
You know, the actual donation part doesn't take that long, and then you get free snacks after, so that's always a bonus.
Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Well, also looking for blood these days, mosquitoes. But Public Health Sudbury and District says prevention is key, warning of possible West Nile virus that mosquitoes can carry. CTV's Madison Merrier tells us more.
A slap can turn into an itch, but Public Health Sudbury and Districts is warning that it can also develop into more.
The mosquito that does spread West Nile virus is found here in Sudbury, Ontario, but the best ways to protect yourself from contracting West Nile virus is to prevent mosquito bites in the first place.
Chances of contracting the virus remain low. The last human contraction was in 2023 in the area, and in most cases, the virus symptoms are very mild. Still, in severe cases, the virus can develop into West Nile encephalitis.
The risk of West Nile is still very real, even after being 20 years in the country here. So making sure you use an approved insect repellent, avoid those peak times when mosquitoes are active, and making sure mosquitoes can't get in your house.
In Ontario, we got about 60 species of mosquitoes, and you probably noticed they're really rambunctious this year. And the reason for that is that we had a good snow melt and lots of rain. They tend to reproduce in these temporary bodies of water.
A mosquito's lifespan is quick, around 4 weeks, but so is their incubation. All they need is a small amount of standing water to lay their eggs.
If you dump those items and clear the water, at least on a weekly basis, you're reducing your chance of mosquitoes breeding in your backyard.
Some of them will lay eggs and they will only emerge the following year, the following spring. There's some species, it can take anywhere between 3 to 7 days, especially these summer species. They're very, very quick.
Doran says mosquitoes that typically carry the virus start up later on in the year, but they could be out sooner as the eggs can survive northern Ontario winters. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Still ahead on CTV News at 6. It's FIFA fever, and we have fan reaction as the games get going here in Canada and beyond. Stay with us.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
Serena Williams' much-hyped comeback has come to a disappointing end after just one match. Her doubles partner, Canadian sensation Victoria Mboko, picked up an injury in singles competition.
Oh, Mboko, that didn't look too good. I hope she's okay.
The 19-year-old had to withdraw from the tournament after that painful-looking spill. Mboko and Williams won their opening doubles match at the HSBC Championships at the Queen's Club in London the day before. It was the tennis legend's first match in almost 4 years. Williams is scheduled to play in Germany next week. No partner has officially been announced. The extent of Mboko's injury is still unknown. It's official, the FIFA World Cup is underway. It was a party in Mexico City this afternoon as Shakira and other artists took the stage at the first of 3 FIFA World Cup opening ceremonies. Canada and the U.S. have their own events scheduled for tomorrow. The performances took place at the historic Estadio Azteca just before Team Mexico's first game.
Mexico maybe with an opening here, and that is the only goal of the World Cup.
Mexico would go on to score another and win the opening match of the World Cup against South Africa 2-0. Tonight, that same stadium will host another game between South Korea and Czechia. The tournament will start for Canada tomorrow against Bosnia in Toronto. Today, the free FanFest area in Toronto opened, sort of. As CTV's Mike Walker explains, Mother Nature may not be a soccer fan.
Mexico! Mexico! Thousands of fans coming together to celebrate the beautiful game.
I'm happy. I love football.
Up to 20,000 people from across the GTHA and the globe expected to attend the Fan Festival at Fort York in the Bentway.
Went to Brazil to watch it over there. And when they say that it's coming over here, I say, right on, I don't have to travel. It's going to be right on my backyard.
And for many, it's their first World Cup event, like Karen, who is from Colombia.
She's very excited because she always dreamed to be in a World Cup.
All eyes glued to the action on multiple screens as Mexico and South Africa kicked off the tournament. Omar among the large contingent of Mexican fans cheering loudly at the main stage.
It means a lot because we get to be with the Mexican community watching the game.
But that excitement quickly fizzled out. The festival evacuated due to the threat of inclement weather.
Well, we're sad because we were not able to finish the game, but it's okay. We need to leave.
The city stating out of an abundance of caution, the FIFA Fan Festival is being cancelled due to the risk of lightning. The decision was not made lightly. However, safety is our utmost priority.
Bit of a disappointment, right? But it's all about our safety.
We didn't see anything.
I mean, it's okay. It's for our own security, so it's okay.
Yeah. Disappointment among fans attending the largely free event. Some out hundreds of dollars after paying for premium tickets.
When it's like a little rain and they just close it.
We miss work and then just to come here and then they cancel. It just sucks.
An event with years of planning and excitement cut short by the weather. Mike Walker, CTV News.
And what about here in the north? Where will you be watching tomorrow night's game?
They are organizing a watch party at the Community College, and I'm excited to watch it with my friends and everyone.
For now, just by myself.
Well, one of the places you can catch the game is right here on CTV. Tomorrow's FIFA World Cup coverage kicks off at 3 p.m. That means just like tonight, our 5 o'clock newscast will be preempted for soccer coverage. You can also catch the FIFA fun and excitement on TSN and Crave. In entertainment news, a couple of Hollywood heavyweights are on the list for honorary Oscars. David Daniel tells us who in tonight's Hollywood Report.
I was very aware that I was a little fish in a very big pond.
Glenn Close has long been a big fish in Hollywood, and now the Motion Picture Academy has announced she'll receive an honorary Oscar at this year's Governor's Awards. Close has been nominated for 8 Academy Awards. Filmmaker Ridley Scott, who's received 4 Oscar nominations, is also on this year's honorary Oscars list. The Academy's 17th Governor's Awards are set for November 15th in Hollywood. Lego and Pokemon have unveiled their latest Smart Play sets, which can make builders feel like Pokemon trainers as the sets play back through light, sound, and motion. All 12 sets go on sale August 1st. Six is headed to movie theaters. The Tony-winning musical featuring the 6 original queens from the London West End production hits the big screen August 14th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Discount retailer Dollarama reported a first quarter profit. The company says profits were up, tallying more than $302 million for its quarter ending May 3rd. That's up from around $274 million in the same stretch of 2025. The company linked the growth to the opening of more store locations across Canada, higher sales at existing locations, and its recent entry into the Australian market. SpaceX shares start trading tomorrow. Today we found out what the initial price will be. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more.
This is one of the most talked about initial public offerings of the year. Shares will start at $135 US tomorrow. More than 555 million shares are being sold, only about 4% of the company. SpaceX is known for its rockets, but it also has an AI division and Starlink, its satellite business, which is the only part of SpaceX that makes money. Elon Musk is already the world's richest man. Tomorrow, he could become the world's first trillionaire. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar down a fraction to 71.63. West Texas Intermediate is down to 87.71. Western Canadian Select is up to 75.82. And the TSX shot up 520 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
All right, let's take a look at the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $139.41, closing the day at $42.11.15 US an ounce. Silver up $3.78. Copper down a nickel. And nickel continues to dip, ending the day at $7.94 US a pound. 92 rather. And let's go right back over to the weather story now and what's in store for TGIF. Tony.
Thanks very much, Marina. Well, you can expect sun, cloud, and shower activity. Big surprise there, right? In through Sudbury, 23 degrees. Sun, cloud, and of course a risk of thunderstorms, much the same in through Timmins. It's almost a carbon copy. Sault Ste. Marie, a little cooler, risk of thunderstorms, overcast day coming in at 19 degrees. As we head on over to North Bay, risk of thunderstorms 23, 21 for Parry Sound, a 60% chance of showers, and for Temiskaming Shores, 24 degrees and a risk of thunderstorms. Marina, it's back over to you.
Well, finally for us tonight, an Ottawa high school student recently won big at a national science fair for developing a device he hopes will change the way patients are monitored after they have a major heart attack.
I want to see the practical use applications and the clinical applications of my work, specifically for patients, because it's a non-invasive technique and it doesn't need to use any invasive biopsies that are currently being used.
That's grade 11 student Karan Kirpalani. He developed a device using sound waves to track a common condition that happens after a heart attack called cardiac fibrosis. Kirpalani landed top prizes at this year's Canada-wide science fair, receiving tens of thousands of dollars to pursue his research. Well done. What an accomplishment. And that is all the time we have here on CTV News at 6. Thank you for watching. And of course, Ian Campbell is in for your late local news at 11:30. Good night.